Sam, thanks for stopping for us. I know it's not the way that you would have liked to have finished the regular season, but you do get a home playoff berth against Chesterfield next week. Sam, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I think we're a little bit fortunate to get the home draw. If you look back at the game, I thought for a good 75% of it, we managed the game well, probably dominated it, moved the ball well. They've got a goal maybe out of a little bit of lax defending from us as a team, not any one individual, but they maybe had a spell of maybe 5 minutes where we just didn't quite get a hold of the balls in the box and clearing them. We didn't get us up the pitch. Losing Reevesy at half time, a little bit of a loss. I mean, he's done very well in that kind of number 8 role, and we've got real good structure in the team first half. Second half it wasn't quite there, but we're still making chances and working well in the final third where we're creating very good chances instead of just half chances, and I think if we continue to do that, then we'll be in a good position. But yeah, having the home draw will be fantastic for the fans, given the draw that we've got as well. They must be happy with that draw, and we're happy with the home tie.
Given how well as a team you've been playing of late, 7 unbeaten going into this one, to lose on the last game of the season just before you go into the playoffs, obviously everybody's been focusing on the importance of momentum. As a group, how do you ensure that today doesn't have too much of an impact on that?
I think we spoke after the game about the frustration of not winning, but the bigger picture, the majority of the performance was good, and sometimes getting that little reminder that you can't step off the gas is not a bad thing, especially going into the playoffs. We've shown the last 5-6 weeks where, I mean, we didn't feel under pressure, but there was obviously pressure there because we started outside the playoffs and we've got in it. We've shown that we can really put performances on the pitch under them circumstances and under duress. So that's a good confidence booster going into the playoffs. We've got the experience of last year. And yeah, look, the performance wasn't dire by any means. Frustrated not to get the result, but credit to them, they've done what they needed to do to get into the playoffs as well, Bromley.
It just shows, and it's not your department, but it just shows how important it is to take your chances when you have them, like you did have so many chances as a team in that first half.
Yeah, and we've done that the last 5-6 weeks. You've seen the amount of goals we've scored and how we've played. I think maybe after they scored, we forced it a little bit in terms of in the final third, rather than finding that extra pass that was on. Don't get me wrong, it's not that it wasn't on. We were taking shots that we hadn't done previous games, and it just kind of didn't quite fall for us today. I mean, Kyle hit the bar inside 5 minutes, which was a great little bit of play, and that's the sort of play we're talking about in the final 25 minutes. You hope in the way we played for the first half and how we controlled it that we should have looked the fitter team going into the last 25 minutes. Them getting a goal gives you a little bit of a boost. I don't think we looked the tired team, but them being 1-0 up just gave them a little bit of boost and something to hold on to, and they did just that.
These plastic pitches are a law unto themselves as well. They don't really help players, do they?
They're not ideal. I played a couple of years when I was younger on them, and when you're 18, 19, you don't bat an eyelid. They're not too bad, but the older you get, yeah, it's definitely. I mean, their goalkeeper, he's similar age to me, I think. I don't envy him playing on this week in, week out, if I'm honest. My body tomorrow will be a bit stiff and a bit sore, and I know a few of the lads will. When it's like a wet condition, they actually play really well. They zip, they have a good tempo to it. Dry, warm, windy conditions, it's a bit sticky. The ball don't move as much, and you maybe saw that in a couple of patterns of play where we did open them up a bit and then the ball just sticks. It gives them a chance to get in, but they play to their circumstances really well, and you've got to give them a bit of credit for doing that.
How confident is the group feeling going into the playoffs next week? What's the overall emotion?
I think the last 2 weeks in training has been fantastic, and you've kind of seen that on the pitch as well. Wrexham was a great result to go and get, and a performance to go with it. And then the performances around that and goals and stuff. The lads are confident. We seem to have found a little bit of a groove and a little bit of a settled team. It looks all right, but we also have players that aren't playing that we know are capable of coming in and really affecting the game. I think Enzio, obviously at the weekend, came on and scored and looked really good, and other players around that. So as a group, I think we're really confident. The lads that are missing out completely are really upset and frustrated, and that's a sign of a good squad, in my opinion. If those lads are really putting it in training and are forcing the issue to be in the squad but not quite getting there, you know things are going well and going right.
We saw how important the fans were at Meadow Lane last week. I think we probably saw it in the second half here today as well, albeit in Bromley's favour and not your own. But going back to where we started the conversation, you will have those fans back behind you again next week at home at Meadow Lane. How important is that going to be?
Yeah, they were incredible the other day. Even though we had some last season, that was probably one of the best atmospheres we've had there the 2 years I've been here. And I think it's really good to give other people that didn't manage to get a ticket the opportunity to get back to Meadow Lane as well. I'm no doubt we'll be selling out. That's probably a given. And if they bring the same intensity and support that they did the other day, it'll be a fantastic atmosphere. In terms of their fans here today, I thought we actually dealt with them really well in the first half. Probably frustrated them, and you could hear the murmurs and things like that. Inevitably, when home teams get chances, that it picks them up a little bit, it brings a little bit of noise with them. And the circumstances of the last game of the season, it puts them in the playoffs. They've got a lot more to shout about as well, rather than just one game. So I don't think it wasn't a deciding factor, but they obviously had a good time, and I don't think it was that much. We didn't have any problems with them having a bit of a raucous crowd.